3. And here we are. Picked off episode 9. Damn, you're about to blow my ears out, son. Let me turn you down a little bit. There we go. Episode 9. It's Thursday, heading into the weekend. BVD on the YouTube chat says you guys really need to fix that thumbnail thing. Man, I have tried and tried and tried to get that, and it shows me on the screen that the thumbnail is fixed. Oh, hold on. Let me figure out what's going on. Did I mute you? Yep, I'm not showing any sound for you. Man, it was right just a second ago.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, I hear you fine. Hold on just a second. It's got to be in the... Give it a try now, Carter. Nope. What in the world? Still no sound, Carter? Nope. He said, I didn't say not hearing Carter was a bad thing. I'm not sure what the issue is. Oh, I think we got you.
You sure?
Looks like it on the mixer.
Yeah. I can hear myself.
There we go.
On my tablet.
Boom shakalaka.
Hashtag professional people.
Well, man, it's OBS. Like you set the stream up one way one day, and the audio and everything is fine, and you leave the settings the same.
I think I know what the BS stands for.
And then you come into the next show, and all of a sudden it just doesn't recognize you.
It wouldn't be picked off without a little bit of drama to begin the show, or not really drama. But,
that's right. And it sounded good in the test recording, so I don't know. Anyway,
you stole my orca. You got the same orca?
I think so. Up. Yeah, I don't have a T on mine, but I've got the orange one. Yep.
Cheers, mate.
With the whale tail top.
Yeah, I broke my top. I got to get a replacement.
Orca. Tennessee company. Good
stuff.
Yep,
out of Nashville. I actually won a cooler at the Music City Bowl in 2016.
Nice.
Yeah, that thing's beautiful. Orange and white. Got T's on it.
Beautiful. Nothing better than winning something orange and white.
That's right.
All right. Let's see what we got going in the chat here. Crimson Brave is in here already, hollering Alabama. Good to have you here, Crimson. You can cut that Alabama shit out. NASCAR's in, says, what's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTubes? Maybe we just need to record a intro with NASCAR just saying, what's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTubes? And we'll play that right before we go live.
Maybe so.
Yep. All right. Looks like we've got some current events. Some what are we talking about in the current events section today, Carter? Oh, the Pac-12 pussing out football.
Well, yeah, I mean that's one thing, due to the COVID-19, which is serious, and I mean it's bad, and we don't have any sports right now, unfortunately. Well, NASCAR is fixing to start back up. I'm sure NASCAR ball's excited about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the state of Oregon has already canceled sports until October, at least until October. I mean, even by October they still may not play, and then California and Washington are looking to do the same. So you got to think, man. There's four teams in California: UCLA, USC, Stanford, and Cal, and then you got two teams in Washington: Wazoo, Washington, and then in Oregon you've got Oregon State. So that's 8 teams out of a 12-team conference.
Yep.
That are probably not going to play football. So what's the point? I mean, Colorado and Arizona State and Utah going to do? I mean,
We'll touch on the impact of the Pac-12 canceling football for the season, or the states of Oregon and California. We got a little bit of all history. Carter's going to grind his gears. We got our top five and our whack ass tradition, which we skipped over last episode because we had Billy in here and he was telling some pretty good stories. We wanted to move the show along. We skipped over those categories, so we'll bring those in from last week or from last episode, and we'll talk about those today. General Nealon's 7 memes as per usual, and our dumpster fire of the day.
yeah. BVD
So
says they haven't canceled sports. They said no mass gatherings till at least October, which of course affects football. Well, I don't know. Maybe I just read it wrong, BVD, but I thought it said in Oregon pretty much no sports. But the mass gathering things make sense.
Duke Nukem in Facebook giving us a sound check. It says, "What's going on, Vols fam? What's up, Duke Nukem?"
Time to kill.
All right, so action-packed show for you guys. Don't forget, top comment of the show is going to win that golden keyboard award. Be in the comments section, just thrashing people, thrashing us. It don't matter. We don't care. The most creative comment's going to win that award. Prizes still yet to be determined. We just kind of shoot from the hip on them prizes. We got a prize closet that doesn't really exist, but we like to pretend it does. And
there's a huge prize closet at Carter's house.
And we're going to send you something. So be in that comment section, churning it up, guys.
I'm getting some 8x10s made with my checkerboard orange and white Speedos. So there's a photographer coming over today. It should take maybe 2 weeks to get those done.
Is it checkerboarded?
Yeah, it's checkerboarded.
Heck yeah, man.
So, I got to do some poses in the backyard today. And, I know everybody will love that.
You're going into the back. Are you going to get in the sun? Let that sun just kiss your pasty white skin.
Yep. I got the baby oil. And the good thing is because of some of the acne on my ass, they're going to be able to clear that right up. So.
Let me get you some Proactive. All right, let's talk a little bit about what's going on over in the Pac-12. It's Oregon and California causing all the problems. They're shutting down mass gatherings, as BVD alluded to, for the duration of the summer on into October, and that could potentially mean no football, or at least fanless football. But you got to think, with 8 of the 12 teams in the Pac-12 being in California and Oregon, that
in Washington.
Right, that's going to be, the Arizonas and the Colorado team and the Utah team. They're not going to have anybody to play if their conference shuts down. So, let's just assume that there's going to be no football in the Pac-12. No Oregon or California team's going to play, just for the sake of argument here. Do they move those other teams from other states into a different conference? Do they let them play? What's that look like? What do you think?
I mean, that would I think that would take a lot to do because you'd have to reschedule everything. Totally reschedule everything. Now, Colorado going back to the Big 12 would be kind of cool to see because, they were a Big 12 member for a long time. But I don't know if they could pull that off, man. I really don't. I think because of the majority, they would have to just, wouldn't be able to play either. And it sucks. But, that's kind of how it goes sometimes. But yeah, I don't see that happening just because, I mean, schedules already been made, they've already been planned. I know a lot of teams, but then again, there might be a way they could figure all that out. There might be a way they could,
If you got four teams left in a 12 team, you might be able to let them do a round robin. Play each other twice and something like that. I mean, who
that's
knows?
true. Well, and the thing is, if they still play and just don't have any fans, I mean, that's better than nothing. I've said that from the beginning. Yes, I would hate to see Tennessee play Georgia or Alabama in an empty stadium. It would suck. But that's better than nothing as long as we get football. I mean, same with baseball. I know me and you are big baseball fans. I think we both would agree, as much as it would suck, I still would rather watch the Braves play the Astros at a minor league stadium with no fans.
Right,
I'd rather
right.
have that than nothing.
Yeah, I'll take some of that no fan sports over no sports. That's for sure. Big Vol Daddy vying for the comment of the show, trying to get that golden keyboard. He says Carter's nostrils look really good from that camera angle. I think I can see a checkerboard booger up there.
Well, thank you.
Let's see. Aaron Ross says, I think it's a 50-50 chance on whether or not there will be a season at all. College football makes most of their money from fans in the stands. If there are no fans, they are losing money. Yeah,
That is
I think they're
true.
gonna figure it out. And another thing too that I think is you're going to see a lot of people walking back. Their shutdowns and their quarantines and their mandatory stay at homes and all that stuff, because it's not nearly as bad as they predicted something like 2.5 million deaths, and
That's
we're
true.
just not even in the ballpark of that number. I think we're just over uh, 0.1% of that number. So
Yeah. Yeah, NASCAR Ball says if there are students on campus from there, or then there will fans in the stands.
yeah,
And the University of Tennessee has already said classes are going to start on time for the fall, and students will be on campus. So, but how does that, Josh? How do you think that's going to affect football? As far as, okay, they get to start on time, the classes and everything. But when does that mean football gets to start? Because I don't see any way possible if the teams can't go back to the university until school starts. Because when that happens, you're only a couple weeks away from football. There's no way we could be ready. You can get a team ready, condition and everything in a couple weeks. Not possible.
well, I mean, I saw a video yesterday that came out on Twitter of Maurer and Garantano, practicing
I
in an
did too.
indoor facility. I mean, to think that the kids aren't out there practicing is pretty naive, I think. They're not doing it on campus and they're not doing it in their normal athletic facilities. But I guarantee you they've been faxed workouts and things to do. They've probably gotten a lot of the mental side of football taken care of in terms of, I guarantee you they're holding team meetings via Zoom and
Oh yeah,
getting those playbooks hashed out. And some of the younger kids are going to be a little further along in their development of the playbook, for that reason. So, maybe we see some smarter football and not necessarily um, not necessarily less athletic football, but you know, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
I hope so, man. I mean, because this is the thing that it affects every team. It doesn't just affect Tennessee. It's not one of these things where, oh, well, this is really going to hurt Tennessee. I mean, it's hurting everybody. So I've heard some people say that, like, oh, this is really going to hurt this person, this person, this person on our team. And I'm like, well, it's going to hurt every person on every team. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, and here's another issue too. I know a little bit about this medical stuff, guys. I spent 14 years
Hmm.
screening tissue for infectious disease and making sure that we didn't transmit any infectious disease into a recipient. And the all these athletes are young kids. They're healthy. They're physical specimens. Not a lot of diabetes and COPD floating around in the college football locker rooms. So getting the kids together, I don't think is a huge risk. Even if there was a transmission of disease, I don't think it would have much of an effect on the players. We've seen some of these guys from the NBA and the NFL and doing Twitter videos about how they contracted COVID and they had no symptoms, and so I think it's all being blown out of proportion. Not necessarily the virus and the precautions, but I think all of the speculation that there won't be a college football season and things like that is all kind of being blown out of proportion. It seems like everybody's just kind of jumping the gun. Maybe they're preparing people. So you prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Maybe they're preparing people for the worst, and as this goes along, because here's the thing: if we can stay locked in our houses forever,
Yep.
but the minute that we walk outside of our houses, we're at risk for the virus, no matter if it's today or 5 years from now. And all of this, um, quarantining and wearing masks and Purell in your hands after you sneeze and all that stuff. All we're doing is weakening the immune systems of everyone. Then we're going to cut everybody loose and say, all right, that's enough. We can't shut the economy down anymore. We can't shut sports down anymore. We're going to have to let people get out of their houses. Everybody's going to go out and contract the virus, and it's going to have a much, much worse effect on your body than it would have if we'd have just handled it like the flu.
Good point. That's a very good point.
Now, that being said, it is a much greater risk to people who are immunocompromised, who are elderly, who have respiratory conditions and things like that. In terms of mortality rate, it will knock you on your butt. So it's just a delicate balance of making sure that the right people are protected, but there's a lot to be said for herd immunity and things like that. So hopefully we get it right. Hopefully everybody gets back to doing their normal thing without too much fallout from the decisions. But I think we're going to have a college football season.
I hope you're right, man. I really do. We'll see. That's all I know to say is we'll see. And
NASCAR said
it's just
it's
a
hurting
mess.
Bama especially. They're 55 in recruiting because Saban don't have email or Facebook.
That's true. But I mean, the whole thing about this recruiting, I'm happy with what we're doing in recruiting right now. But let's see what it is in January, because just a few short years ago, guys, we had a number one recruiting class in July, and that did not stick. I mean, even Kentucky had like a number two class a few years ago in about this time. And of course, they ended up like not even in the top 25. I know we're going to be in the top. I believe we'll be a top 5, but I mean, Alabama's going to get their recruits. They're going to be right there, number 1, number 2, number 3 by this time in January. I have no doubt, because, it's early.
Aaron Ross wants to see a backyard football game between BVD, Catfish, and Carter. He said we could sell it to ESPN.
Well, first of all, Aaron, I've played against you backyard football. BVD, I don't even know if he could throw a football at this point. I'd be down to play. I've seen Catfish; he can throw a ball. I don't know about him running, but yeah, I think I'd take that one.
James Humphrey over on Facebook says, I've not been this excited about Tennessee football recruiting since we got Peyton Manning. That's reasonable. I mean, it's things are looking great, man. We're going to have an army of quarterbacks when this is all said and done.
Especially if we get Daniels from USC.
That's going to make, what, 7 quarterbacks?
Well, let's see. We got let's start from the beginning. JG, Mauer, Stroud, Bailey. The kid from Maryland.
Yep.
I think it'll make 6 if he does come. If he does come.
And well, I mean, and they're recruiting these dual threat quarterbacks and stuff. And I think you got to think that those are gonna be receivers. Who knows, man? Maybe they've got some offensive schemes in their minds where they're going to run multiple pass, backward pass, forward pass type plays and things like that. But they are recruiting the dog out of some quarterbacks. James says, could we see some conference realigning out of this? I think it's possible. I mean, if some states are gonna dig their heels in on this COVID-19 stuff, and other states are gonna move forward and play football, then we could see some conference realigning. They may chunk teams like Colorado and Utah into the Big 12, or over in the Big 10. Um, you know, we may see. I mean, and this doesn't just affect the Power Five teams. California's
Mm-mm.
got a lot of mid-major conference teams. Fresno State, San Diego State, San Jose. Teams
Yeah,
like that, and that'll mess with the G5 teams as well. So California and Oregon, get your stuff together, man.
for reals.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I think when it's all said and done, we'll have a football season. It may look a little different than what we're used to, but hey, it's football.
Kevin Stokes says when Catfish going to say we're going 20-0, I promise you that. And then he says, I got my money on Catfish and football. Well, like I said, we had Mississippi State game at the Tap House. We had a little backyard football game. But let me tell you, it wasn't with BBD. It wasn't with Catfish. Catfish played a all-time quarterback for a little bit. Okay, let me tell you, I've seen Catfish try and run. It's not pretty, folks. I'm not saying I am not a physical specimen by any stretch, but I'm just putting it out there. Catfish trying to run is hilarious.
Did y'all get any video of that?
Yeah, BVD has video. Yep.
BBD, shoot that over to my inbox, buddy.
He needs to hurry up and upload it on YouTube. He hasn't even uploaded on YouTube yet. I don't know why, but it was me, Aaron Ross, Ryan Schrick, Chandler Davis, and there's got to be. Oh, I forget. Bill Belichick. That's what BVD calls him. I can't think of his name, but he called him Bill Belichick. So it was the 4 of us mostly.
Okay. I know I went out there a few times at Tap House and threw the ball around with some kids in the back and during halftime and things like that.
Yeah.
Man, I hope we have a college football season because I cannot wait to go to Tap House and eat some more wings and pizza, drink some of that craft beer they got over there. That's a
Yeah.
that's a great way to spend a Saturday, man.
Matt S was his name. He's the one who brought the cleats. He brought some Nike cleats and laced them up.
Yep. Matt Sims. That's what he's talking about.
He was taking his backyard football very serious.
All right. Anything else going on in recruiting or anything like that? Have we picked up anybody new?
Not since Tuesday, believe it or not. I was kind of surprised, but I am sure by next Tuesday, next show, we'll have some more. I'm pretty sure.
Awesome. All right. Let's move on in the show. Moment in Vols history. Carter, you want to set this one up, bud?
Well, we're going to travel back in time to January of 1996. I'm talking about the Citrus Bowl. And the reason this was such a big game, first of all, Tennessee was 10-1. We didn't win the East because I believe Florida actually played Nebraska in the Fiesta Bowl and got their brains beat in. But, BVD Mike can comment a little bit about this game because, I was only like 6 years old. But it was a really big game. It was the Citrus Bowl. That's not why it was big. But Ohio State was ranked like number 3. We were ranked number 4. I think the number 1 team was Nebraska, number 2, Florida. So this was a big game because you got the number 3 and number 4 team. Either one of those teams could have been playing for the national championship. You had Heisman Trophy winner Eddie George at Ohio State running back. Peyton Manning was a sophomore. It was It rained a lot during the game. I've heard a lot of stories. My parents were there, and it was a really good game. We ended up winning 20-14, but I think Jay Graham had like a big 69-yard run. Manning hit Kent for like a 47-yard touchdown pass. Jeff Hall kicked 2 field goals in the fourth. We ended up winning 20-14, but Ohio State had the ball trying to score. It was like a goal. It was on the goal line. It's close to the goal line, and Bill Duff makes an amazing stop. And I think you got a clip for that, Josh.
I do.
4th down, inches for the first down. Here he comes. Sure, he didn't make it. The Volunteers jump all over him that time. Number 50, Duff, leads the way and makes the stop for Tennessee.
He got inside penetration, and you should never allow a defensive lineman to get inside penetration in a gap in the goal line. Great job by Bill Duff. I'll tell you, not only did they stop him, they gained a big mental edge right side of your screen. There it is right there. First minute, 2 guys penetrating in there, Brett. Take another good look at this thing. Too many red jerseys, orange jerseys in there. Everybody, look at, they're jumping over the top to get. They must run that play consistently in that situation.
I'd have taken a field goal. I don't know what he's thinking about.
Man, I can't wait to get back to that kind of football.
Yeah. Did you see the mustache on Bill Duff? That was amazing.
It was absolutely beautiful. It was gorgeous. The power of the mustache is real, guys. That's probably how he was able to get in there and make that stuff on such a absolute man child of a running back.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at him, he looks like he's 34 years old, maybe 40, compared to now, the kids nowadays.
Ohio State had the best team in the country that year, hands down, and we caught them in a slumber after they lost to Michigan.
That's right.
Well, can you say that they had the best team in the country if they lost to Michigan?
That was their only loss. Our only loss.
They were definitely the most talented team in college football that season. There's no doubt about that.
Well, they had Heisman Trophy winner Eddie George. I mean, there's a lot of other good players. What was his name? BVD, you can help me out. Carter. His last name was Carter, and he played for him, I think. I think he was a receiver, but he was really good.
I think BVD had to bounce out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He said he's got a date with a plunger. NASCAR says no one knows what's going to happen with this virus in 3 weeks, let alone 3 months, and I absolutely agree with that.
I think we need to get BVD on here soon.
You want to bring BVD on one day? You remember those? You remember the underwear? BVDs?
Yeah. Yeah.
Flint Williams is in, says, "What's up, Carter and Josh?" What's up, Flint? Thanks for dropping in. Catfish is over there in the Facebooks.
Facebooks.
Oh, man alive.
I'm sure Catfish remembers that. Well, in Catfish and Billy, they had Bill Duff on a couple weeks ago, wasn't it? Catfish talking about that play in that game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
Because I think that was the year before Billy. Yeah, it was the year Billy wasn't at Tennessee during that game. He was a senior in high school, I believe.
Great moment in Vols history. I just cannot wait until we are back to playing that level of football.
Same here, bro.
That's one of the things that I continue to talk about is whenever I came to Tennessee and became a Tennessee fan, they could get on the field with anybody. Anybody. They could get on the field with the number 1 team in the country, and there was a chance they were going to win. And a lot of times they did.
Yeah.
And,
I remember.
I just cannot wait until we get back to that type.
I remember in 2006, man, when we opened up the season with Cal in Knoxville, and you got to think we come off a pretty rough year. We went 5-6, lost to Vanderbilt for the first time in 20 something years, and we hired David Cutcliffe back. It was his first year back at Tennessee since the '98 season, and Cal come in. They had Marshawn Lynch. They had Deshaun Jackson. I mean, they were loaded. Really, really good Cal team. Maybe one of their best ones. I'm not for sure about that, but we were supposed to get killed. I remember watching or hearing all week long how the Cal was too fast, had too many weapons. They were just all around
Yep.
a better team.
I
And we
remember
whooped
that
their
too. I
butts.
remember them talking about the speed over there, and
Yep.
Tennessee's defense just wouldn't be able to hang with the speed.
Yeah, and we jumped out to a 35-0 lead. They scored 18 points in garbage time, really. Ended up winning 35-18, but
Good times. Good times are coming around the corner too. I feel it. I feel like good things are happening for Tennessee. I never got that feeling with Derek Dooley, obviously. I got that feeling a little bit with Lane Kiffin. I mean,
yeah,
I know that there's a lot of bad blood between Tennessee and Kiffin because he left after a year, but he came in and won some ball games in his first season and gave Saban everything he wanted and then some, and didn't pull
yeah.
out the win. But I mean, it just kind of. I think if he'd have stayed at Tennessee, his career would have been a lot different than than it was with his decision to move to USC. I understand why he did it, but I think that if he'd have been at Tennessee for a little bit longer, he'd have shaken some things up in the SEC for sure.
Yeah, well, going out to USC was a big mistake for a lot of reasons, but mainly because Pete Carroll had to leave. I mean, they were getting put on probation. I mean, the whole 9. I mean, but
I never got that feeling with Butch Jones. Even during the 2016 season when we beat Florida and Georgia, I was happy to beat those teams, but I always felt like it was a shell of a season. Like it was a gimmick. Like it was, those kids played their hearts out and they deserved every win they got. But they also, I think the coaching staff deserved every L that they got that season too.
that's a good way of putting it. And I totally agree with you.
So, but now with Pruitt, everything just feels like it's growing at the right pace. The foundation's being laid for what could be a beautiful relationship between Jeremy Pruitt and the University of Tennessee.
God, I hope so.
All right, buddy, you want to grind some gears?
Is it that time already? Why,
I
heck
guess.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
want to grind some
I know
gears.
it's kind of we take it to we're like up here, and we're like things are great. Let's look at some history. Stuff in Eddie George, and we're all happy. And then I'm like, Carter, why don't you tell everybody what's pissing you off?
What's pissing me off today, Josh? What's really grinding my gears right now? Well, it's always grinding my gears. But you know how I talked about, I think it was last week, about music at college football stadiums and all that. That obviously grinds my gears. But let me tell you something that really just takes it to the freaking extreme. And I've seen the University of Georgia do it. I've seen the Big Ten, just about every freaking team in that conference do it, is Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. Oh my God, is that stupid song overplayed? It's really not even a bad song, but the fact is it's overplayed so much in movies and commercials and everything. I hate it now. And then you got college football teams like Michigan and Penn State, especially, who got to play it at their damn games every time. Knock that crap off. It's stupid. You look ridiculous. And you know what? Just I shouldn't be surprised it's Big Ten, but shame on you, Georgia. You're in the SEC. What the hell are you thinking? And the best part, though, is our first time I ever heard it at a live football game was in 2016 when we beat y'all on the Dobnell boot. And right after y'all scored that touchdown, Jacob Eason, y'all were playing that stupid ass song. So ha ha ha, that's what you get.
Hey, Seven Nation Army is a good jam, man. And Jack White is probably one of the better musicians of our generation. I don't know if you've seen some of the stuff that he can do with a guitar. He makes some of his own guitars out of just junk laying around in a junkyard, and he can just jam. But yes, they do. I hate it whenever they take a good artist and they pick a catchy riff and that artist has developed, and they just play the dog snot out of it until you can't stand to hear it anymore.
if you want to play music by a guitar player who can build his own guitar, like you said, Josh, play some damn Eddie Van Halen.
Van Halen's good stuff. I love Van Halen. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. Yeah, I'm not trying to put Jack White on a pedestal or anything like that, but he is an absolutely talented musician. Um, there's a documentary with Jack White, The Edge, and it's Jimmy Page, I believe,
Oh,
and I think it's called "It's Gonna Get Loud" or
yeah.
something along those lines. Go and watch that, and I recommend it to everybody. Everybody that's listening, go watch that. If it's not called "It's Gonna Get Loud," it's something to that effect. But The Edge, Jimmy Page, um, Jack White, and there's this scene where Jack White just picks up, it's essentially like a kid's toy guitar, like a guitar that a kid would learn to play on, and he's just melting that thing, and it zooms in on his fingers up on the strings, and there's just blood oozing down the guitar. He absolutely bent the snot out of those strings. Very, very talented artist.
Big Vol Daddy says that song is gaff. I'm not going to say what that abbreviation means.
Yeah, we love everybody here.
Yep. But I mean, I don't really hate the White Stripes. I mean, I like some of their songs, but that song, the reason I don't like it is just because it's overplayed. Man, it's like a lot of songs, like even like Thunderstruck by AC/DC. I love AC/DC, but that song is so overplayed. Like every time I hear it, I just want to like turn the station, and that's sad because it's a great song.
Thunderstruck is what we it's one of the songs that we introed to in high school football. I loved it.
Because of, let me guess,
Went through to
Varsity
Texas.
Blues.
No. So Varsity Blues didn't come out until I think it was after my senior season in football. But
Okay.
no, we just liked it. A bunch of us liked AC/DC, and we'd play Hell's Bells and Back in Black, and so we always had black pants and gold, in gold jerseys, or white
Oh,
pants
so
and
you look
white
like Vandy.
jerseys. We were Vandy's color. We were more yellow than gold, but yeah, we essentially the same color scheme. And then we brought back an all black uniform for the first time my junior year, and it was black helmets, black jerseys, black pants, yellow trim, and we introed to Back in Black for the first home game of the
Nice.
season that year. And so it was a pretty pumped up moment. But after that, everybody started picking AC/DC songs to go out to, and we ran through the sign right whenever they said went through to Texas. On
Texas, and we
Thunderstruck.
had some fun.
Yeah. So it was, it's good tunes. But I
Yeah.
understand about the overplaying of the Seven Nation Army.
Yeah.
It does get annoying. I hate whenever overplaying ruins a song.
That's right.
Anything else you got to add about old Jack White and his Seven Nation Army?
Nah.
All right, let's move on to the top five. Top five today is our top five Tennessee traditions. I am heavily unprepared for this, so I'm going to shoot from the hip, but I think I can come up with five.
All right.
You can
want me to
start it
go
off,
first?
though. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you gonna do like we've been doing? I do five, then you do number five.
That'll
We
work.
do it like that.
That'll work.
All right. At number five, let's see. I'm gonna say the checkerboards. I mean, I
Okay.
love them. It's unique. It's not as unique as some of the other ones because a lot of other teams have used checkerboards in their zones. I even think, and Hoss may correct me if I'm wrong, but even Alabama years ago had checkerboard end zones. I think they were just white, like checkers and grass. But so we're not. I don't think we're the first ones to do that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with I mean, I love the checkerboard. I'm probably gonna move that on up my number five because that's Tennessee football to me. And Kentucky can try to claim checkerboards all they want, but no, sir. Checkerboards are synonymous with Tennessee football. My number 5 is going to be Davy Crockett at the football games.
Okay.
I like Davy Crockett. I understand, why he's a big part of the Tennessee traditions. Um, an absolute hero. If there was no Davy Crockett and the boys that went down to the Alamo, there would have been no Texas. Thus, I don't know where I would have been conceived and lived as a
Mexico.
child. Northern Mexico. Yeah, I might have been a Mexican. So
That's
big
true.
props to the Davy Crockett, showing Davy Crockett some love. Texas teams need to do that, man,
Yeah.
because he's an absolute figurehead there in San Antonio. If you've never been to the Alamo, I recommend everybody go at least once. It's a solemn, somber thing, and it just being on those grounds gives you chills. And it's probably tenfold if you're a Texan, because you understand why you have a state to call home.
That's pretty cool. My number 4 is going to be the I will give my all for Tennessee sign that they slap right before they come out into the tunnel. I don't know why, but man, that sign is just. I think it's awesome. I like the saying, "I will give my all for Tennessee today." I mean, at one time as a kid, I had one made, and I hung it above my door, and I'd always slap it as I was walking out, like go to school or whatever. I took that very serious, and I think it's pretty awesome.
Haas says Icky Thump, another good song by the White Stripes. Yes, sir. Icky Thump is good. Get into dig into some of Jack White's bluegrassy type music. Some of the stuff that he did on the Cold Mountain soundtrack too is just absolutely phenomenal. He's got such a wide range of styles of music that he gets into, and it's just he'll blow your mind. I'm telling you, if you really dig into him, he's a phenomenal artist. All right, my number 4 is going to be. I'm going to put Smokey up there.
Okay.
Smokey, number 4. I'm a big dog person. I've wanted a blue tick hound for, well, let's see, 16 years now. Since I moved to Tennessee, I've wanted to get a blue tick hound, and every time I get close to getting one, it falls through, or something happens, or we got a baby coming or something like that, and it's just not a good time to get a dog. But one of these days, when the kids are all grown up and I got a little time to spend with them, I'll have me a blue tick hound and name Smokey.
That's cool, man. Yeah, yeah, I'm a dog person too. My number 3 is going to be kind of a tie, Rocky Top, of course, but the other thing is it's football time in Tennessee. John Ward, that's why I think it's so iconic, is him saying it, wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee. But not just John Ward, man. Bobby Denton, who was the voice of Neyland for forever, until 2013 was his last year, and then he died a few years ago. But his monotone voice saying it's football time in Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
that just always fired me up. And not only that, but we urge you to please pay these prices and please pay no more. But yeah, man, I love that stuff, and I sure do miss old Bobby and of course John Ward.
Those are the
Two
things that you miss
legends.
about going to the football games live. Going to the
Yes.
football games in person. That atmosphere, that's the only thing that I miss. But don't get me wrong, it's not enough to drag me out of my recliner. Because I'm an old stubborn guy that's kind of stuck in his ways now. If I go to another Tennessee game, it'll be to cover it.
Yeah. Big Vol Daddy says 5, the VOLS cheer. That's pretty cool. 4, checkerboards. 3, it's football time in Tennessee, which was mine. 2, the ball walk, and 1, duh. So.
Duh.
Yeah. But what's your number 3, Josh?
My number 3, I'm gonna move the checkerboard into number 3.
Nice.
A lot of the same reasons as you stated. It's just Tennessee football, man. If you think Tennessee football, you think of an orange and white checkerboard.
Yep.
whether
That's
you're
right.
from Tennessee or not.
Number 2 for me is going to be Running Through the T. Doug Dickey started that, and it's just iconic. It's, to me, I am biased. I am a homer. But to me, it's one of the coolest entrances in all of college football. I know Howard's Rock, they think that's really cool. I mean, look, they're just running down a damn hill, petting a magic rock. Get over it. So, and lifting up a bunch of balloons. I mean, which we used to do that too, back in the 80s especially. But, just running through the T, when the Pride of the Southland just opens up, and then, like I always liked it when Fulmer would do the double fingers, like, let's go. And run through that T, man. It's probably the loudest the crowd gets during that time, in my opinion. But it's just, man, it just gives you chills, and it's awesome.
My number 2 is going to be the John Ward and the football time in Tennessee. As somebody who covers college football, is in it's some different media these days, but in broadcast and things like that, John Ward just going back and listening to some of his calls, some of the old calls and things, and I love it when they put them to music. In hype videos and things like that. I mean, you want to get me pumped up for college football, give me a hype video with a thumping song and John Ward's voice in the background and, calling play. Oh, man, I love it. It gives me chills, gets me ready, gets me pumped up for the season.
Well, my number 1, now this one is really, it's my favorite no matter what, but it's the 7 Maxims. And I urge every Tennessee fan, Josh, you too, back in, I think it was 2004, Andy Kozar, who is a former player, played for General Neyland. He wrote a book. He found General Neyland's son gave him a bunch of old journals that were General Neyland's, that he would write everything down from plays to sayings. I mean, there wasn't just 7 Maxims. Everybody thinks there's just 7. There's a lot of Maxims. I think there's 29 to be exact. And of course, those are the 7 that he used and we still use today. But it ain't just Tennessee. You can have David Cutcliffe at Duke. He uses those same 7 Maxims. Newt Rockney used to even use them, apparently, and a lot of programs do. But I mean, those are just historic. The team that makes fewer mistakes will win. And my favorite one, of course, is the 7th Maxim. Carry the fight to the opponent, keep it there for 60 minutes. But General Neyland, but anyway, I was saying about the book. Andy Kozar made a book with the journals that he found of Neyland's, and it's called Football as a War Game. And it is an amazing. It just shows you how smart Neyland was, how much he knew the game. I mean, from every little thing, and it's a really good read. And I urge any Tennessee fan or football fan to try to find that and read it. But yeah, the 7 Maxims, that's just historic right there.
And number 1 for me is going to be, I guess you could encompass all of these things with just saying Pride of the Southland. Pride of the Southland band, marching band, Rocky Top, VOLS,
running
through the T, halftime performances that are out of this world.
The circle drill.
Yeah, we've got one of the best, if not the best, marching band in college football, and it's not even close with a lot of teams. I mean, there's a couple of squads out there that you could argue might be better than Pride of the Southland if you're from that school, but Pride of the Southland is just phenomenal. And when they fire up Rocky Top, man, I don't care if they do it 80 times a game, it gets me pumped up.
Big Ball Daddy says, I didn't put the Maxims in there because that's more sacred to the team and locker room than the fans, in my opinion. I understand that, but I think they're, pretty important. Bama, Hall says Bama did have checkerboard end zones maybe in the 60s era before I was born for sure. Then BVD says never get a blue tick for a pet. Ask Bill for Vols, and that is true. NASCAR Vol, his top 5: 5 the ball walk, 4 Rocky Top, 3 Smoky, 2 down the field, 1 checkerboard. And that's kind of debatable, but yeah, because Down the Field is the official fight song Tennessee, and Rocky Top is the unofficial. So that's understandable.
McClung possibly coming to Tennessee. Gate City says he hit the transfer portal.
That's the basketball player, isn't it?
Yep.
From Georgetown.
Yep. I saw that this morning.
Yeah.
They say Tennessee's after him hard and fast. We'll see. He's going to be an immediate impact player if he does come to Tennessee. Immediate.
No doubt about that. NASCAR Ball says, we are the real UT. If it wasn't for the Volunteers, Texas, I'm sure is what he's talking about, wouldn't be a state. And that's true.
You're not wrong about that. What's going on over on Facebook? Duke Nukem had to head out. Sorry we missed you, Duke. All right. That's it for the top 5, man. That's a good top 5. I enjoyed it.
Very good. Yeah, I did too. Maybe our best one yet.
All right. So we're going from our top 5 Tennessee traditions, which you can't make fun of any of those. You can't make fun of Davy Crockett. You can't make fun of Smokey. You ain't making fun of checkerboards. You ain't making fun of the band and running through the T. John Ward. They're all sacred. The 7 Maxims, so many other teams have stolen that from Neyland. I mean, I can't think of a Tennessee tradition that, other than, maybe some of the goofy stuff that goes up on the rock or when the paint slid off the rock. You remember that?
Yeah, that was kind of funny. Or the trash can that Butch Jones. That's
not a tradition. That lasted 3 games.
A gimmick. Yeah, that was a gimmick.
Yeah. There's not a lot you can do, but there is what we like to call the whack ass tradition of the day.
That is true.
And we've got one for you. That's going to be University of Virginia Tech.
The Hokey Pokey.
The Hokey Pokey. Tell us about the Hokey Pokey, Carter.
Well, first of all, that's a children's song, okay? As far as I know, it's a nursery rhyme, nursery song, whatever you want to call it. It's stupid. I mean, it's absolutely stupid. They do that at that's the equivalent of the chicken dance. I mean, come on, man. And their marching band. How are you going to come out to freaking Enter Sandman, and then when you score a touchdown, let's play the Hokey Pokey?
You're barking right foot in.
You need to take that right foot and stick it up your ass for playing that song.
I do like their turkey gobble, though. When that comes over the loudspeaker, that big, I like that.
See, that's why we beat Virginia Tech all the time, because we got Davy Crockett. He used to hunt turkeys, so.
With his bare hands.
Yeah.
Uphill to his hunting spot and uphill on his way back home, barefoot in the snow.
Hey, don't make me pull out my Davy Crockett.
Killing birds on the way.
Happen in the back there.
So, yeah, whack-ass tradition, Virginia Tech and the Hokey Pokey. You just can't really feel too manly about playing a kid's song.
No.
When you score a touchdown.
That'd be like USC doing the chicken dance, when they score a touchdown.
It really would. That's a great comparison because it really would.
Yeah.
Oh, where do these people come up with this stuff?
I don't know.
Anything else about the Hokey Pokey before we move on?
Guys,
in the comments, have you got any comments about the Hokey Pokey?
It's whack as hell. That's all I can say.
It is whack as hell. You're right about that. All right. Moving on. Oh, let's see. You want a dumpster fire or you want a Neyland's memes?
Well, let's see, Josh. Why don't we do Neyland's memes? What do you got coming up next on your end?
I've got Neyland's memes. Then we're going to dumpster fire of the day. And we're going to give a little final thought. And that'll be it.
Well, let's do Neyland's favorite memes.
All right. Here we go. Meme number 1. Georgia Bulldogs waiting for a national championship.
God, who was the president when they won it last? God.
80? That was the year that Reagan was elected, wasn't it?
Was it? Okay.
I think so.
Jeez.
All right. Let's see here. What else have
Disco
we
had
got?
just died.
Disco had just died. You're right about that.
Georgia killed
had just
Disco.
died. Yeah, they won a national championship, killed Disco, and haven't done anything since. Want to hear a football joke? The
Sure.
state of Mississippi.
The state of Mississippi.
That's a good one. Although, I think that we're going to have a lot of interesting reports coming out of Mississippi coming up.
God, yes.
The Pirate and Lane Kiffin over there. It's gonna be so great. This virus couldn't have come at a worse time, man.
I know. Oh, we got let me see. Michael Rector says go Vols. Let's also Corey Stanfield says all about McClung to Rocky Top, even though he was a Blue Devil. And he says go Big Orange VFL. Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Michael Rector.
Hokey Pokey is a great idea if we're talking having a good time with the Virginia Tech sorority sister. Spelled it wrong, but you get the picture. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't know if you heard us earlier, BVD, but me and Josh, we're wanting to get you on the show. Maybe next week. Maybe we can work that out.
Yeah, BVD, give me a call after the show or sometime later today. We'll work it out. We'll check your schedule and we'll get you on. I just received a couple of YouTube videos in my inbox of some of BVD's early videos. Something about a T-shirt.
Oh my God! Have you never seen the Lane Kiffin video?
I'd never seen it, but Catfish sent it to me last night.
That and then that Mount Cody block kick in 2009. I mean, those are. Well, how many views is that up to, Keith? I mean, the Kiffin video's got to have at least be over 300,000 clicks.
Kevin Stokes, I wasn't a big fan of all the different shows Catfish has had on his channel. I stand corrected. I think he hit a home run with y'all. Carter and Josh are great. Somebody's
We really
trying
appreciate
to get
that.
the golden keyboard.
Hey, I'm ready to give it to you right now.
The show would be better if there wasn't so much garbage. Truck worker orange.
Ah.
Well, and then we ripped the golden keyboard right out of his hands.
Then you pulled me back in.
Yeah. Or Shark Week Red. Kevin Stokes, Corey Stanfield. Yeah, or Shark Week Red. All right. Meme number 3. The feeling you get when you watch the Gators lose. Absolutely. I love watching the Gators lose. I loved watching the Gators lose to Kentucky. God, that was great. Number 4. What do I do after Kentucky wins a BCS championship? I turn off my Xbox.
Playing Dynasty mode too much.
Oh, what's BVD talking about? Both, I think, over 300,000. Oh,
both his videos.
Views.
Yeah. I mean, he even had Fox Sports come to his house and do an interview with him. It was great.
Yeah, that's I think they're still trying to find that video for me.
Yeah, General has it, so maybe the General can get it to you.
General, if you watch this, shoot that over to me later today. All right, meme number 5. General Nealon's 7 memes. I don't always smile, but when I do, I look constipated. You know, that's so true.
Steve Spurrier.
When Steve Spurrier smiles, he looks like he's trying to pinch one off.
Oh, yeah, click, clack.
Man, so much respect for Steve Spurrier, even though he was a Gator and a Gamecock. One of the greater coaches of college football.
He definitely simmered down, when he got to Carolina. And part of it's probably because he didn't have as much room to talk. But he still, man, he threw some shade, son, even everywhere he was.
Oh, he did. And to go out the way he went out, like just you know what, guys, I'm drinking a lot these days, and I'm just gonna leave mid off season. That was
Yeah.
that was the most Steve Spurrier thing he could have possibly done.
I'm so glad that when he left Florida, his final game at Florida was against us, and then the last time we played him, at Carolina, we beat him. So, that ought to make us feel good.
All right, Hoss, we got one for you. Don't be mad. It's better than about an Alabama shirt. There you go. I couldn't even get it out of my mouth because I was trying not to laugh.
He looks like a pink nightmare.
He does look like a pink nightmare. I love that movie.
That is, yeah. I wish they wouldn't show it. Well, when they show it, 24 hours on Christmas, I never just sit there and watch it, like just when it starts to finish, just like one movie. But like I'll click over there every time, and you pretty much watch it a couple times when you do it that way. At least I do. Like,
Yeah,
got to see what Ralphie's doing.
Yeah, we let it play all day. I grew up in the '80s, but I grew up poor in the '80s, and so a lot of the stuff that you see in that movie is a lot of the stuff that I grew up with in the '80s. Even though I think his was in the '60s, '50s, and '60s.
It looks like the '50s or '60s for sure.
It just makes me remember my childhood so much. I'll never forget when we got a Nintendo. We got
man, you are old.
We got an NES. They were brand new. They had just come out. Everybody had been playing an Atari, but video games were not that big. And the NES comes out, and my dad goes and picks one up and brings it home. It was one of the best days of my childhood. I can remember. He had two games, Star Voyager and Contra. Wow. And and we sat in the living room, me and my dad, every day after school, and when he would get off of work, and we would play Contra on 2-player mode all night long, trying to beat that game. And what's funny is I can go back now. They've got all these game emulators and stuff on.
Yeah.
On the computer, you can just log on to a game emulator and just play a game. And the first time I picked up Contra, I ran through it in about 12 minutes.
Jeez.
But back then, it was really, really hard. And we got so proud whenever, and then the chopper comes in and picks the two guys up, and the credits start rolling, and I was like, Dad, it's like a movie. It's like a movie. We were so pumped up. But I'll never forget getting an NES for the first time. I thought we had made it. I was like, oh man, we're rich now. We weren't rich. My dad just splurged on the Nintendo.
Yeah. Run to the chopper. Must go now.
All right. Finally, what are we going to do? We're going to do dumpster fire.
Yeah, dumpster fire. I'm sorry. I got a little.
Oh, we already talked about the whack-ass tradition. However, I can see why you got confused because our dumpster fire of the day also the Virginia Tech Hokies and their fall from glory. We got a video of them doing the hokey pokey.
Oh my God! Let's show them.
You want to show show the folks?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. There it is. Dumpster fire of the day. Tell the folks at home why Virginia Tech is the dumpster fire of the day, Mr. Carter.
Well, first of all, the fact that they do the damn hokey pokey, is one reason. But I mean, they've kind of like been like Tennessee. They've fallen from grace. I mean, they played for the national title in '99, I think, against Florida State. Of course, that's when they had Michael Vick and Virginia Tech's had some good players over the years, but they've, they just haven't really. I mean, Frank Beamer, he had like a record for like 10 wins every year. And of course, they were a Big East team for a long time, went to the ACC, and just really hasn't done much since the early 2000s. And they've just been a disappointment year after year after year. They hired Justin Fuente from Memphis, thinking that was the answer. And of course, we beat them in the battle at Bristol. They've got a great fan base, a huge following. But yeah, they've been playing mediocre for the last, really since they got rid of Beamer.
NASCAR says that Vatek doing the hokey pokey has to be the dumbest tradition he's ever seen.
It's pretty bad.
TriStar for life from Corey Stanfield. Quick trivia for you. Haas says the guy who played Ralphie also played the head toy maker in the movie Elf.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'll be watching it now. I'll be paying attention for it. I don't know if I ever caught that.
I don't think I didn't either. I watched the guy who played Ralphie went on tour with Vince Vaughn years ago and did stand up, and he was actually pretty funny.
Yeah. And talk. You were talking about the Truffle Shuffle the other day. Wasn't it? You loved the Truffle Shuffle for some reason. That dude that played Chunk on the Goonies, he's like a CPA or an attorney or something now. I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not in films anymore. It's yeah.
You know the guy? Did you ever watch the Little Rascals movie they came out with in the 90s?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it was Spanky. Alfalfa's like best buddy. Is that Spanky?
Yeah, Spanky.
Okay. He's a tattoo artist.
Really?
Yes, and he's covered in tats, like his head, got all these piercings. I mean, I can't even recognize him. Like, I know he's older now, but I mean, he's an incredible tattoo artist. Does some great work, but he just kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, whoa.
Is he the one that
he's on TikTok?
I was gonna say, does he have a show?
I don't know if he has a show. I know he's on TikTok a lot, but he may have a show, but I'm not sure.
I've been spending a lot of time on TikTok lately.
But there's a lot of I saw a video of the cast from The Sandlot. A lot of those guys are regular. There's one of them that's a firefighter or something like that, and they've got regular jobs.
Yep. Oh, hold up! You need to take a look in the YouTube chat and see what just happened. Kevin Stokes just dropped a dime on you and said, "I now want to see the Truffle Shuffle." You can't.
What happened?
Kevin, he super chatted you for $4.99 and said, "I want to see the Truffle Shuffle."
That's only if we get 50 people in here, Kevin.
He's paying for it, man. He's paying for it.
I ain't taking my damn shirt off. You hear me? But I'll you know what? I appreciate the kind words. I appreciate the $4.99 super chat. So I tell you what, I'll do the Truffle Shuffle right when we're coming off the show. So there you go.
We're getting pretty close to wrapping her up here. What else?
Oh my God!
What else you got?
I don't really want to do the Truffle Shuffle, but I will.
All right, listen. If somebody else super chats another $4.99, we'll call it $5 for nice round numbers.
You don't speak for me, damn it.
He'll lift his shirt up and do the Truffle Shuffle.
The hell I will. That is a lie. Do not do it. You're wasting your money. Okay. I'm a classy broad. Okay.
Do it, guys.
$4.99 ain't enough.
Do it. Pay the monkey to dance. Come on.
No, you do the damn Truffle Shuffle for another $4.99. We'll both do the Truffle Shuffle.
It's hard to do the Truffle Shuffle when you got washboard abs.
Oh, jeez.
I don't look like the kid from Goonies. Nobody wants to see me do the Truffle Shuffle. It gets weird at that point. It's kind of like your uncle coming in with his shirt off, shaking his. It's just weird.
With all your taco meat hanging out. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Well,
Kevin
I'm doing it
Stokes.
with.
Kevin Stokes got a point. He says, "I paid money to." Oh, he just dropped another $10 on you. You got to do the truffle shuffle with no shirt, buddy.
I can't do it.
You got to do it.
Nope.
You have
I'm
to.
gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But I'm not taking my shirt off.
But give the fans what they want to see, Carter.
We made a deal, you and me, that we were only doing it if we had 50 people in the chat.
We didn't. We
Not
never.
breaking
We
that.
never discussed
You're
if people
you're
were
not
paying
talking
for
me
it.
into it.
If
You're
people
not
were
talking
paying
me
for
into it.
I mean,
I gave him a fair warning. I don't care if I get another super chat. I will do the truffle shuffle with my beautiful Tennessee jersey on.
He's $5 away from a one song lap dance at the strip club, man. You're not going to give him a shirtless truffle shuffle?
I can't do it.
You just all you got to do is lift it up, bro. That's how Chunk does it.
Nope. Nope. I'm sorry, Kevin. Hey,
He
you
says
can
no
go back
shirt.
and you can cancel that. You can cancel that super chat if you want. You've got like
God
30
dang it.
days to do it.
Do the truffle shuffle for the man. Come on.
I'm going to do it. All right.
This ain't a Slitta stream. Quit asking a dude to take his shirt off.
Look, I lost my camera. Tell me, you need to communicate with me if y'all can see me good.
You're good. You're good. Back it up a
Let me
little
back the
bit.
camera up. All right,
Back it up a little bit, and then tell me
That's
right
what she
before you
said.
do it so I can turn.
Oh, so you can turn. All right, so I think I remember you gotta it's kind of like the chubby checkers twist, right? You gotta go real fast, right?
No, it's not a twist. It's more of a so the way that Chunk does it he lifts his shirt up under his chin.
Not doing that.
And he bows his back to make his little jelly rolls roll up, and then he just shakes back and forth.
All right, I'm gonna do it. Lift my jersey up.
Here we go.
There you go. Lifted my shirt up.
That's the best you're gonna get, Kevin. He's bashful. But thanks
Not
for
bashful.
Thanks for the super chat.
I told you I'm a classy broad, and I ain't,
He says you're gonna have to take him to dinner before you get a shirtless truffle shuffle.
Buffalo Wild Wings, my friend.
I mean, he just bought you an appetizer, a meal, and a beer at Buffalo Wild Wings for $15.
No. He bought catfish all that.
That's true.
No, Catfish needs to get his ass on here and he needs to do the truffle shuffle.
He says Catfish is firing y'all over this. He's going to email Catfish and tell him he didn't get what he wanted.
Oh, man.
Let's do this. Let's do a segment next week. Maybe Tuesday, maybe Thursday. We'll need some time to work it out. But let's do a segment called Pay the Monkey. And people... Are you leaving?
Nope.
People can pay money. We'll call them. We'll do $5. People can pay.
No, I'll tell you what. Next week I'm gonna link my damn PayPal on this instead of the super chat. Put it in the PayPal.
People can pay $5 to make Carter do whatever they want him to do.
Damn. Who are you, my pimp or something?
I can only imagine the suggestions that are going to come from that.
I love how Josh just, volunteers my body for everyone's amusement. What about Josh? We got to make Josh do something.
I'm not easily embarrassed, sir.
Shave the damn beard. How about that? How much money would it take for
that? I'm going to need to see at least $1,000 before I'll shave this beard off.
It's going to grow back.
You're right. It will in about 2 weeks. But then I got to go 2 weeks beardless, and my beard is worth $500 a week to me.
Okay.
So if you want to see the beard come off, it's gonna cost you a cool $1,000. The beard's not going anywhere, man. I'm telling you, nobody's gonna pay that kind of money.
I'll tell you what. Next week, here's what we're gonna do. I'll do the truffle shuffle, but Josh has got to do it too. Since me and you are partners, Mister, I'm not easily embarrassed.
The Haas says we're better than that. Pay the monkey. Yeah, we're gonna pay the monkey.
Yeah, into my PayPal account. So there you go.
What's that movie where that kid says, "Dance, clown"?
Oh, was it Billy Madison?
Yeah. Oh, make me
I
a
think it
bite,
was.
clown. Yeah. No, it's not.
Yep.
It's Wedding Crashers.
Wedding Crashers with Vince
Yeah.
Vaughn. That's right.
A Georgia fan paid money to see a truffle shuffle in a garbage truck worker orange. That's true.
I mean, hey,
It must be boring down there in Georgia.
whatever gets your rocks off there, bud.
How long have you been in quarantine, Kevin Stokes? Because you just dropped $15 to watch Carter do the truffle shuffle.
And I did it.
He did it. We're gonna get him shirtless though, guys. It's gonna happen. I'm throwing a little shade back at him.
Yeah. Because words are superfluous.
All right. We'll have to come up with a better name than Pay the Monkey, I guess. Haas doesn't like the name Pay the Monkey.
Yeah. Pay the Carter. That's what, you know.
We'll let the fans name it. You guys name the segment.
Gonna play My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the.
Kevin's been in quarantine for 2 months. Now I can understand why you just dropped $15. That stimulus money burning a hole in your pocket.
Whew. I'll tell you what.
Well, that
do
escalated
the
quickly.
truffle.
See what happens when you throw a little money into the super chats?
Exactly. I'll tell you what. I will do the truffle shuffle, lifting my shirt up. Josh has to wear lipstick for the entire episode.
Oh, buddy,
Fair enough.
I got 90 different colors in there. My wife's a lipstick freak.
Well, there you go.
She loves it. She's
I
got
want to see a
kinds.
matte red.
Matte red. I'm not sure what that means, but I'll ask my wife. McCooter Bob Cartwright says 50 people will watch in the replay. He's got a point there, and then he says, "Well, that's enough internet for today."
Yeah.
We got the man off his computer. Scott Cawhorn. Is it Cawhorn? Cawhorn? Sorry, buddy. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. He said fa ra 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 ra. Contra, the original up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start. Boom! I'm going to say it's Cochran or Coffrin, something like that. But Scott Coffrin just won the golden keyboard with the up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start because he got it right. And it is the original. Do you know what that did for you in Contra? Are you old enough to know what that did for you? Carter?
No.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start. In Contra, you got 3 lives. If you died 3 times, you had to continue or start over the level that you were on.
Mm-hmm.
Contra, the up, up, down, down code gave you 30 lives.
Okay.
So
like a little cheat code.
It's a cheat. It was the original. It was the first cheat code that, the first, I guess, famous cheat code.
Right.
And if you remember things like, back in those days, like Mike Tyson, if you wanted to save your progress, you had to put in a code. You couldn't just save the game. There was no storage on those consoles. You had to, if you got to a certain point in the game, it gave you a code and you'd have to put that in. I had a notepad that set up there by my Nintendo. It had all my Mike Tyson's Punch Out codes and track and field codes and things like that so that you could start further along in the game. And it took me forever to get the code to Mike Tyson. And I don't remember it. I know somebody that's watching, or Cawhorn. Sorry, buddy. Scott Cawhorn. Scott Cawhorn wins the golden keyboard today off the Facebook chat. Oh, nice to give one over to Facebook.
Yeah. No, it's Facebook's. Get it right.
Yeah, the Facebooks. I'm sorry. Kevin Stokes says the show with Billy was great. Y'all need to get Catfish on the show. He's funny AF. That's true. Catfish is the original. The original Volunteer Roadshow jokester. But no, it took me forever to get that Mike Tyson's Punch Out code. And once I got it, it was like gold. I remember I had this little. My grandma had this little tin box that she kept money in when they would do garage sales and stuff. And she hadn't done a garage sale in a while, so I asked her if I could have that box, and I took it home. And it had a little combination on it, and that's where I kept my Mike Tyson punch out code to get to Mike Tyson. So
Okay.
you didn't have to fight all the guys to get up there. I kept my Contra up, down, left, right, BA start because I could never remember BA or AB. And
It's 2 letters.
but dude, we're talking about 1984, 1985. We're talking about you didn't remember sequences that long unless you were some kind of engineer or mathematician.
Gotcha.
It's easy now because there's all kinds of codes and things that have spun off of that, and cheat codes and stuff that you can remember. But back then, that was gold. A little piece of paper with that Mike Tyson's punch out code on it to get to Mike Tyson was worth baseball card. Like I'd give it to my friends, but I'd make them pay me baseball cards. We always had like bow and arrows and fishing rods and stuff where we go fishing in the big drainage ditches and creeks and all that stuff. And I mean, I made people pay for that code. It was like gold. I'm telling you. There you go.
So you went from people paying you for a cheat code, now for people to pay you to see Carter do the truffle shuffle.
Yeah, I'm always gonna make people pay for stuff like that. It's just how I roll. It's how I've gotten where I've gotten today. All of this right here, this luxury that I'm living in, didn't just happen overnight. I didn't win the lottery. I do not live in luxury, by the way. I'm joking.
Selling cheat codes and
yeah. It was just the makings of what would eventually become a pretty decent businessman.
Well, in all seriousness, I'm gonna give a special shout out, if that's okay, to my good buddy, partner Josh. Definitely would not be as fun of a show without you.
Well, thank you, sir. That was kind of you to say. Likewise, I enjoy it. It's fun, and when you don't have to do 9 hours of research on a show to get the statistics and the latest breaking news. That's what we have Luke for, and we get to just have fun. It makes for a great little job. Volunteer Roadshow. I got an email that somebody paid to see the Truffle Shuffle, and he didn't get his money's worth.
Well, that's all for today, people.
Yeah, Carter's about to get fired, y'all. Sorry about that, Bobby. I tried. I tried everything
Bobby,
that I could.
I did it, but I'm not showing skin, sir.
He said we need to talk after the show, dude. You've been called to the boss's office.
Jesus Christ.
By a Georgia fan. You got narked on by a Georgia fan. Are you texting Bobby?
No.
Oh. You started looking down. I thought,
how can I do that when I'm using my phone for the show?
Well, that's true. It was nice knowing you, Carter. Matt Dummett.
I enjoyed it.
Could you imagine? You'd be telling your grandkids one day, I used to be on that show Picked Off. I was the second guy on the show, and I got fired because I wouldn't do the Truffle Shuffle without my shirt on.
Hey, isn't there like I guess I'm gonna have to go to human resource, and they're trying to make me show skin. That's sexual harassment.
The problem is our HR department is just catfish.
Damn.
You're screwed, buddy. Screwed, blued, and tattooed. All right. Anything else you want to say to the kids before we take off?
Let's see. Yeah, this sucks. I'm kidding. No,
Carter and Josh are like biscuits and gravy, both good by themselves, but better together. Oh, we may have to work out some kind of like Tennessee Vols civil partnership ceremony or something like that. We'll go down to the courthouse. It'll be sweet. I'll give you a little peck on the cheek when it's over.
Not with that beard.
It's like getting smooched by a Brillo pad.
Yeah.
Ask my wife. There will be a shirtless truffle shuffle next show. Sorry, Kevin Stokes. There you go.
Josh will be wearing lipstick and makeup.
You're on the hook. That came from the front office, buddy. That's Catfish saying there will be.
Catfish. Josh has to wear lipstick the whole show.
What
Ruby red lipstick.
Nobody's paid any money to see me wear lipstick. They're paying money to see you do the truffle shuffle.
Well, by God, I'll do a damn super chat if I got to.
Well, yeah, I'll take it. If you'll pay me to wear lipstick, I'll wear it. Rest in peace, Carter. Michael Rector. All of this because you won't lift your shirt up.
All right, damn it. I'm sick of this. All right.
He's going for it. He's going for it. He's going for it.
There. Done. No more.
Yes. There you go, fans. We do it for you. Everybody, give Carter some love. Give Carter some love in the chat.
I want a raise.
He wants a raise. There you go. Alex Carter reported missing in action. Not anymore. I think he just saved his job, folks. Thank you for all the pressure. Sorry that we had to get you involved, Catfish. But
this is going to get flagged down, probably.
Something YouTube's already taking it down. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for us for today. You guys have a lovely weekend. Hope that everything goes great for you. Get out in the yard and barbecue or something. Have a good weekend. Be sure to check out volunteerroadshow.com. Go support the sponsors. Forgot to mention those guys during the Neyland 7 memes, but Hound Dogs and Tennessee Tap House. If you haven't been by those places, go check them out. Ball Heaven, that's what I like to call them. Follow Carter on Twitter, because that's the only place you're going to get any kind of information. I'm not very active on Twitter. I need to be better about that. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll get on there and just start dropping some TikToks and things like that down on there. But just to have an active Twitter page that the fans can follow when we're not on air. Anything else you want to say, Carter? Thank you again for the truffle shuffle.
Yeah, kiss my ass, Josh.
Bobby says Hound Dogs is hiring. I don't know if are you talking about, Bobby, are you talking about for Carter to go apply for a job at Hound Dogs, or are you just letting the public know that Hound Dogs need some help?
Yeah, because that's a 5-hour drive.
NASCAR hashtag raise for Carter. Oh, Scott Callhorn, message us on Facebook or shoot us an email at volunteerroadshow.com or volunteerroadshow@gmail.com, I should say, and we'll get something out to you. Carter's the one that handles all the prizes. He'll shoot something over to you, and I appreciate the comment, buddy. Good job on that one. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start. Anything else, Carter?
That's it. Go Vols. See you on Tuesday.
All right. We love you guys. Go Big Orange.
I hate you.